Welcome to Devil's Advocate. Devil's Advocate number 24. Okay. Uh, hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah. I think we're gonna have a decent episode. You know, talk about a lot of how I named the channel or the episode. Is there a gender war? Right? Because I wanted to talk about, I guess go into a bit some dating topics, some reaction videos, I guess, because a war, a gender war, because these are topics I've heard a little bit, and I just wanted to dissect it and think about it a little bit, because me and my co-host, right, Average Joe, we were talking a little bit, and like, yes, I do see that there is a divide. Okay. And my controversial side is I think the divide is created by women. Okay. But a war, I don't see it's a man versus woman kind of thing. Okay. I see it as the results, as in the divide. So the results of women's actions, right? I think since the start of feminism until recently, I think now we're seeing the fruits, right? The results of those actions, of that movement. Okay. And I think it's now what's created the market, right? Remember what I said, the divide. Name the things, name the reasonings or the examples you put out. Right.
Well, I said that there's a lot of things we don't see eye to eye on, right? And I mean, thinking about it, I think there's certain things women want from a relationship and expect from a man that men don't always feel like giving, and vice versa. And you add on top of that the fact that it's more expensive than ever to just like go outside. So it
But here,
definitely,
let's, like you just said. You just said a point. You just said what?
I said it's more expensive than
No,
ever.
before that one. Before that one.
For that,
What you?
I said I talked about men and women's expectations or what they want from each other. And
And you said that.
I said women may want or expect things from men that they aren't willing to give, and vice versa.
Here's the thing, right? And
Okay.
perfect talking point.
All right.
I honestly believe, right? Because you got to think about this, right? Here's an idea, or here's a thought process, that men have not changed
Okay.
throughout all these years, these decades, right? Men have essentially stayed the same.
Okay.
The changing difference is women. So let's say this, right? I honestly believe that men would give, right? The problem is because women have changed. One, their expectations have, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily change, but it's magnified. So let's say back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
50s, 40s, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Men have given the men provide, men work, men take care of their family. The issue is now that because women are working, right? Women are providing for themselves. So now, if a woman even sees you as value, right, valuable, you are going to have to provide more, right? So you're going to have to put in more than what your grandparents have put in. Okay, so you have to be an even better man than what your grandparents were. The issue is, okay, what are men getting in return? What do men get? Because look at this, right? Women have changed, but is it for the better of men, right? There's not. I mean, to be honest, let's call a spade a spade. What men value in women: looks, fertility, youth. Okay, in general, you can sprinkle a lot of other things, right?
I
But
mean,
those are something that a lot of men in general can agree that they value that, right? Or At least that's the starting point. Okay. What women have changed now is becoming more independent, more career focused, more masculine, right? Women have become the men that they want to date. Okay. So men are getting a lot less while they need to put in a lot more. And I think that's, like I said, that's why I go back to what I said before. That divide that women, that in my view, women have created because, like I said, the changes, those things have contributed to now we see a divide and what people may perceive as a gender war. What's your thought? What's your thought so far?
Well, I got to add you some follow-up questions on what you just said. All right. First of all, what do you think it is that women value in men?
Primary provision and protection.
Okay. And so provision and protection from men, and men want looks, fertility, and youth.
Yes, and these are basic. Of course, when you dive in deeper, of course, that's the thing. That's the point when you dive in deeper. That's when because what I said, what we just named, provision, protection, that is the general, right? That's in general, okay. Mm-hmm. But if you want to dig more, that's individualistic, right? That's when you go into more. This is like the building block, the core, okay. Then you go into like personality, hobbies, shit like that, okay. Of course, I don't disagree with that, but that's what I'm saying. The core of, let's say, the majority. That's what people would say.
Okay, all right. So, and we have a lot more to discuss, so I don't want to hang on this for a long time. But do you think do you think a woman is justified in maybe feeling maybe not feeling satisfied with being wanted just for, so if you say looks, fertility, and youth, that means her aesthetics, her womb, and only up to a certain age.
Yes.
Do you think that would hurt a woman to find out that's the only thing she's wanted for when she might and all of that?
See, that's the point, right? First, one thing, that's not the only thing. Like I said, that's why I try to distinguish. That's the core of it.
Okay.
But second, women already know that their beauty, their aesthetic is the most important thing. It is no surprise to anyone, right, that the beauty industry is, what is it, $1 billion, $100 billion industry? There's no surprise that the beauty industry is one of the most profitable industry, that we have in society. So even women know that their currency is their beauty. There's no denying it. So, there's no sugarcoating it. I don't know what you're trying to go.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
okay. All right. Man, I don't know what I think about that. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. I mean, I think there's more to it than that, but you're not saying that there isn't. You're saying that's the main thing.
Of course. But so
women don't want to be young and beautiful anymore. Is that what you're saying?
But see, that's the thing, right? Like we were saying, okay, perfect. The issue is that, like I said, beauty is there. Women, and no matter, men always find women beautiful, right? All shades and all shapes.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is now that, right, beauty is stagnant. Okay, let's not say that. Okay, women have gotten more beautiful over time. Mm-hmm. I don't think so, right? There was a man that found women beautiful then, found it now. Okay, mm-hmm. That has stayed stagnant. The same. It's the same kind of thing. The market is the same. The issue is, okay, the difference is what women. I go back to it. It's women. Okay, I can tell you this, right? And you know what? Like I said, I could always make an argument that's always women's fault.
No, you can't.
But it's not because it's not because I'm misogynistic. It's because I see women at the core of the issue.
Okay.
So, like I said, the beauty market, what men want is stagnant.
Okay.
What women want, let's say the protection and provision,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it has increased.
Okay.
Because, like, go back to what I said, women now make their own provision, okay, and in society is this is why I kind of say it's a little bit maybe, it's not as it's different, right? Protection is not as rampant as you needed. It's not as wanted as
Yeah.
needed, right? But
Okay.
provision is always wanted.
Okay.
So now that women are essentially being able to provide for themselves or provide a good chunk for themselves, now what men provide is not enough. So like I said, men have to be better than their grandfathers, while they're getting women that are not even at the same level as their grandmothers. Okay, beauty is one thing right here, but there's other things. Like I said, our grandmothers or great grandmothers, at least they essentially, you could call them ladies. Okay, you could call them traditional. You could call them, women have more tact. Women that are more ladylike. Okay, femininity, because we've argued this before, right? That's a lot in general. That's what men value: the femininity, the ladylike, the grace. Now women are more aggressive than ever. Women are more, argumentative. Okay, women are more attitude prone. Okay, beauty has stayed stagnant, right? Beauty was always beautiful. Women have always been beautiful, so that's nothing. But now personality, right, has decreased, and then our standards have increased in women. So that's the issue, right? That's the thing where I said what men get is a lot less, but what women want is a lot more. So that's the imbalance, right? That's the division that
Okay.
I see, right? And essentially what I'm saying is that women have made that division thanks to feminism, right? Thanks to the movements that we see, the modern women dynamic ideology, the more and girl power, the more strong independent women stuff like that. That has increased and dominated more and more over time. So, that's why I can always say women are the root of a lot of problems.
I mean,
Yo, I
ooh,
told you I could really spice up your friends conversation if they.
I mean, it's rough to say. Like, you go back to times earlier in the last century when I guess women were. I don't even. I guess we can say more willing. I mean, I don't know if they had as many choices available to them back then. But they were more. They more often than not they played their role in in the in the family. Um, but it's like saying, well, this woman has hopes and dreams and wants to be something more and wants to have something more. She's the problem. And that's what it sounds like sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if she aspires to be something other than a mother or a wife.
Do you believe, right,
Mhm,
in your views, anyone can have it all?
I believe anyone can have it all.
Yes.
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay, so in essence, people can't have it all. So look at this, right? I don't disagree with you that, yeah, women want, you know, a career. Great. All the power to you.
Uh huh.
But again, right? We forget what men this is fun, right? Sometimes we forget what men want because we don't care essentially what men want. this is the thing where I go back to it, right? I say this, right? You're right. Women can, and if they want to, have a career, focus on your career. Problem is, you focus on your career. That focus. Let's not go be idiots. When you focus on a career, there's a high likelihood that you are not focusing on other stuff, right? You put other things to the back burner. So let's say you put a man on the back burner, and it's a sad biological difference, right? A woman that put a man on the back burner, let's say she focused on, her career. Now she's 35. Okay, well, she's single and 35. She's yet less youthful, less infertility. I'm not saying she's not beautiful, but she's definitely not as beautiful as she once was. That's just that. And I'm saying in general, of course, there's always women that can keep it up, but the women that can even keep it up is still, if you compare to when they were younger, a lot of times it's a difference. So the issue is, I've said this before, and I'm an advocate for it. Women have a time clock. You are wasting your time. Time is the most valuable to human beings. It is even more valuable to women because time is one of the factors that you need to get a man. In the sense that the chips, right? Your bargaining chips you have with a man is your womb, your fertility, your youth. Okay, that's not a men, right? Like I said, I honestly believe here. I mean, although I'm an advocate for marriage in a sense, right? I honestly believe that there is absolutely zero benefit for men when it comes to marriage. There's no benefit. But I've said this before. Men will and should get married when it comes to children. Because with children, you want to have a sense of security, have a sense of commitment, especially with the woman. Okay, marriage is the benefit for women. So this is where how I say I'm not misogynistic in the sense that because you should give a woman that security, right? It's a risk. It's a sad risk that men have to take on. Men has to shoulder that risk. Okay. But it's a thing, it's an act that you show to a woman that I am taking on this risk. Why am I taking on this risk? For the chance to have a family, right? To have kids. I said marriage is only the risk of marriage is only sensible when it comes to children. That's it. Because no one can answer that you can get the same benefits from a relationship that you can get from than you can get from a marriage. Okay, you can get the same thing, even you can get more. You don't have no drawbacks. Okay, that's the thing. But like I said, to get to have children, and you should, is to take down that risk, give a woman that security. Right? It's like your promise to a woman that you're giving me kids, I'm giving you this security. Right? And that's the thing where I say that, okay, that makes sense. So that's why I see that, damn, I forgot what my point was.
Well, we were talking about, I brought up women having, aspirations.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's the point, right? Yeah, thank you. That's the point, that those aspirations, you take away the chance, the possibility, right, of having kids or having kids successfully or easily because you're wasting that time. So that's why I said, yes, I'm all for women to, have a career, make your money. But this is where you can't be delusional with women, right? I don't sugarcoat things with women. I don't like doing that. You can be the biggest boss bee you want to be. But that is a sacrifice for having a man. I do not, because like I do these Kendra G, singles videos, right? We have women in their 40s, in their 50s, 60s, still saying, I want a man. I want to get married. I say, bitch, are you crazy? Sadly, you don't qualify for marriage because there is no reason for a man to marry you. And what does he get in return? I mean, he could get exactly the same thing if he was in a relationship with you. I said it before. If you're a woman over 40, just get a situationship. Either get a situationship or just have a boyfriend girlfriend thing. Because really, you don't provide anything for a man that warrants the risk of a marriage. Because even if you're 40, 50, or 60, you could still divorce a man, right? That's never out of the window. So really, there's no sense in a man marrying a woman over 40.
Ouch. Okay.
Well, what do you think? Do I make sense to you? Do I like change? Maybe do you see my point and maybe uh adopt that point? Do you does that?
I see your point. I don't know if I adopt it because one, I don't know that like when you said the age limit, I don't know if I agree with.
Well, I said that. Well, do you? I mean, it's a biological fact that, let's say, even after 35, it's a geriatric. What is it?
If you're, I mean, okay, so if you're tying a woman's ability to give birth to her age.
Well, okay, no, do you agree with what I said about the marriage part, where the risk, about men, children, what it's the part where I said men taking on the risk of marriage only for kids. That's the only qualifier.
I think that's a cold way to look at it. I think most men take on the risk of marriage for love.
Well, but love is, but see, that's no, because you're already, because like I think you're already in love in a relationship. So what? That's not the risk. The marriage, right? You going on to the next step.
Yeah,
it's usually to have family.
But they do it.
But but they do it because they will eventually have family.
They never have kids. They get married and they
see that no, that's not want children. Yes, okay. If we're going to do the ones that either can't have kids or choose not to, that's a small percentage. That's a small percentage. In general,
that's smaller percentage.
Men marry, right? Men marry.
Mm-hmm.
Men marry to have a family. That's just plain and simple. Because you're already in love before the marriage. So really, the marriage, and I'm saying that like, okay, if you're marrying because you're in love, I'm telling you out and out, you're stupid. Because you're already in a relationship. So for you to like, oh, I want to prove to her that I love you. You proving to her love you because you're in a relationship with her. That's the proof that you love her.
And you're gonna stay in that relationship with her because not getting married means the woman's taking on a risk that you'll leave her for somebody else at any time and with nothing.
Okay, let's say this. See, that's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? Uh-huh. Okay, this is the thing where it's. See, that's the thing, right? You leave her with nothing. It's like, when it comes to a relationship, it's equal. It's 100% equal. There's not like, okay, I'm marrying you. You're my housewife. No, you're taking care of the kids. No, that's not how it works. So really, what am I leaving? I mean, like, see, that's what I said. That's a train of thought that is not right because like I said, right? If you're going to have children, I said you should marry. That's what I said. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you're not, let's say the hypothetical, some relationships that you don't have children, right? Mm-hmm. Well, why would you marry anyway? So what? You're gonna leave her with nothing? What does she deserve? What are you talking about? Does she deserve anything? Because she's not staying home to be a housewife.
She deserves the world. You think she deserves everything if you're in love with her?
That's the delusion. What does she deserve from you? The world? That's that's when you be ridiculous.
She's someone I'm in love with. She's my best friend. I'm in love.
Well, then treat if she's your best friend, right? Mm-hmm. All you need to do is treat her right. when you leave her, it doesn't mean that she has a consolation prize. There's not like, oh, here's a severance package.
But see,
What? No.
I hear you. But then our argument, the argument in reverse is the same though. We won't get married because if she decides to leave us, she's gonna leave us with nothing.
Yes, but see, that's what I'm saying, right? I said this. I just said it before. Marriage is a risk, and
I'm saying that the relationship is also a risk. The other
no,
way.
it isn't, because a relationship is an equal. Okay, if you leave her, whatever, it's the same thing. If she leaves you, it's the same thing. She's not taking nothing. You're not taking nothing. Okay, this is what I said, right? If you want equality, boyfriend and girlfriend is the most equal relationship there is. Okay, if you want power, marriage is a man losing absolutely all power. Okay, but like I said, 100% marriage is the risk, and I only advocate for you to, as a man, to take on that risk for children, and it's because you are proving to, and I agree, right? Like there's situations where stay-at-home mom take care of the kids. She's not having worked in years. I said I'm all for that, right? I understand that. Okay, you can't just leave a woman high and dry after she's taking care of your kids all these years. But that's what I said, right? Where you give her that security, okay? Where you said, okay, here I will take on this risk of marriage because you're giving me something, right? You're my wife. You're giving me kids. You're staying home taking care of the kids, so on and so on. Okay, now that's like, okay, you take on that risk for you getting something in return. I'm not saying that if you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, you're not having kids, no nothing. Okay, that's how it is. That's why I said, essentially, woman's over 40. That's what you should only get. You only qualify for that at best.
All right, here's a question that I have to ask you. You fall in love. Just follow me here. You fall in love. You are head over heels for this woman. She is your heart. She means everything to you, right? She wants to get married.
Mm-hmm.
If it always starts with like maybe dropping hints, maybe eventually you have some conversations about it. But if you wait long enough, it's gonna be we either get married or we go our separate ways. You just go your separate way. You're in love.
See, that's the thing, right? Okay. It depends on if I talked about it already. Okay. If I had said that, you know what, I'm only gonna marry for kids, then okay. I'm just how I'm gonna do with it. I'm sorry, like I don't feel like, okay, because like you gotta think of this in love, but you have to the path that you want to take has to coincide with each other. Okay. So if I said we're in love, but I want kids in the future, and she wants marriage, okay, those match.
It works. Okay.
If in the past I want kids, she doesn't want kids, but she wants marriage, I'll say that don't match. That don't make sense. I will stay with you, right, until whatever. If it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, great. But that's what I said, right? The problem with a lot of men, and this is why I create this channel and stuff, right, is that I feel a lot of men are desperate, right? I've said this before, right? A lot of men, me and you probably included, definitely me, we live in a scarcity mindset. We talked about this before, right? Where I said that, okay, me and you, like if you talk about your ex, if we leave a girl or if a girl left us, it is harder for us to find a new girl because we're not that type of person. We're not the playboys. We're not the Chad, the Tyrones, the high value men and shit like that. We can't get a girl like that. Okay. So, and I think a lot of men is more like us. So if we are in a situation where, okay, I don't want her to leave me. She wants to marry. She doesn't want to have kids. Hell with it. I'll do it. But that is a recipe for your own, as a man, your own suffering. Because when you are giving more than you're receiving, and I've been there with my last relationship, I only gave. And at the end of it, what was the point? I still, I, I still got broken, right? The end result. This is what I said, right? Us men are doing this thing where we give, hoping that she sees it and starts giving instead of just taking. But that's a stupid hope, right? That we're hoping this person would change and see the value in us. That's what men do, right? Because men, even if we're in a terrible relationship, we're suffering. It is as sad as it sounds. We men rather suffer in a relationship than suffer alone. And I understand that, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Because loneliness for a man is debilitating because we can't get out of it, or it's hard to get out of it. Women, they're lonely, boom, outside, a man's right there. For a man, if we are suffering alone, no one notices, no one cares, no one is there to talk to us, to listen to us, to anything for us. So all men, majority of men know this. So I've seen it, and I've been there where, hell with it, I'll suffer in this relationship hoping this woman will change, see this, and start giving. But even if she doesn't, I'm still the doormat and I'll still give. But that's the thing where I said, that's the problem with, I'm done with that, right? And I understand. See, I understand men. That's why it's like, it's hard for me to, I don't give advice necessarily to men because what am I going to say? I've been there. If someone tell me, leave your girl, and then what? Just be on your own, be by yourself, be alone? That doesn't sound great. Mm-mm. But at the end of the day, right? I do it where I talk to men where, yes, leave someone that's draining you. Leave someone that doesn't appreciate you. What you do is, yes, you will be alone, but I hope that you will find a goal, find a path, find a purpose. Focus on yourself. Focus on other things that can make you happy. This is what I would love to encourage men to, right? I get it. I'm there. I've been there, right? I know you know it too. It's just the debilitatingness of being alone when no one cares about you. I get it. Yeah. And there's nothing to necessarily solve that, but there is a way to just deter it or not focus on it, which is, yes, men in general cannot find a woman that easily, right? So steer your energy a different direction. Okay. This is where I honestly believe purpose for a man is absolute, right? It is a must. It is what will save a man's life. Purpose. Purpose is what will stop you from wanting to kill yourself. And, well, this is why I hope that I can help encourage men to just find a purpose.
That was pretty good, and it makes a lot of sense. Thank
you.
I agree with you on that. Oh man, I don't have any other thoughts. Were there videos we were supposed to be?
Yes,
watching?
It was fun. It was fun. Just get the ball rolling. Absolutely. So we will. This is. I want to get your thoughts on this. It's a women talking about. I guess are dating. Okay. Let's check it out.
Am I wrong for this? Anytime I tell this story, no one ever agrees with me. But I swear, when I think about it, I'm right. So when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't know anybody, and I joined Bumble and matched with this guy. Right? We had been talking, I think, for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I got a good vibe. So anyway, I had asked him if he knew any handy people because I had a lot of like furniture coming into my apartment, and I needed help putting it together. Although I did not know him well enough, I trusted him enough to come to my apartment. Now, in hindsight, that was probably a bad idea, but it is what I did. So before he came to my apartment, I had a conversation with him about payment because I didn't want for him to come and I didn't like him and then he felt like he got. So we talked about payment and I told him I'd give him a certain amount for him putting together like 2 pieces of furniture. Well, he put together a bed and a desk. So I don't remember exactly how much.
But remember that, right?
Okay.
Because we got this. I want us to remember things like, and this asterisk, right? Footnote. We are only critiquing what she said. So one of the things she said is that I will pay you for doing these 2 things.
Right.
Not saying anything else where, okay, if I like you or if I don't like you, I'll pay you for doing these 2 things. If I like you, no need to pay, right? She's not saying that. That's what she's what she's distinctly saying, right? What the viewer will interpret is that I'm going to pay you for doing these two things for me.
Right. What was that thing that showed up at the bottom earlier?
I don't know.
Like it was. I didn't get to read it. He insisted multiple times that I didn't have to pay him. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right there. Okay. He said you don't have to pay. She said she most likely insisted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Putting together like 2 pieces of furniture. Well, he put together a bed and a desk. So I don't remember exactly how much we agreed on, but I did say I was going to sell him the money. So when he came over like early this Saturday morning.
Oh, remember, whenever you want me to pause it, say it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm following it.
And he ended up like starting right away. He was definitely somebody that I could see myself talking to on the long haul. So it was cool. Like he was we were getting to know each other. We were talking about family. We were talking about life, all this kind of stuff. So around lunchtime, I ordered us something to eat. And as we were eating, we were like really talking, right? It was good. So when he was done, he kind of like chilled for like another couple of hours just to like rest. And we were really vibing. And he was like, I would really like to see you again. And I was like, cool. So when he's ready to go, we go outside and he gives me a hug. And then he's like, okay, so I'm going to text you my Zelle information so you can send the payment. And I'm like, okay. In the moment, I was just a little shocked, but I didn't like let it on. I was just like, okay, just text it to me. So the next day I sent the Zelle payment and I was just like, oh, thank you for coming over. I really appreciate it. And then I didn't say anything else. And he was texting me and I did not respond. And he wasn't used to that because obviously we have been like texting all day long, talking throughout the day. It was good at that time. But then I just decided that the fact of him asking me for money after like we had a good day, and I do understand that we agreed upon it, but I just thought it would be different since we were going to start dating. So finally he asked me like, what's up? And I was just like, honestly, I know we decided that I would pay you for that, but I really thought it was tacky that you actually asked me for the money afterwards and you took it. So I did end up cutting it off and we didn't talk again. But when I told my cousin about it, she was like, you guys agreed on it. Like, I don't understand what the problem was. And honestly, like if I'm gonna date you and you put together some furniture for me, you're gonna charge me? I don't know, like what do you guys think?
All right, let's get your thoughts on it first.
She drawing. You're wrong.
Who's?
She's wrong. She's wrong because they agreed on payment.
Yeah,
that's it. Like I'm not gonna. That's crazy. And now I could follow her line of reasoning. I don't agree with it. I think she's like completely wrong, but I could follow it. And I think the thing is, we don't read minds. So there's no way.
Oh my, that's exactly. That's what women, right? One of the craziest shit when it comes to women is that they perceive men as mind readers.
The farthest thing from that.
I mean, come on. It's like, seriously?
If that guy knew that you felt that way, he probably wouldn't have asked for payment. Or maybe
he actually said you didn't have to.
Yeah, he said multiple times.
Remember what you read, right? Exactly. You read. He said you don't have to.
You don't have to.
He put out that thing. So, but look at this, right? Here's the thing where this type of woman is delusional, and I'm sorry. Here's a woman that will stay single and die alone.
Hey.
Because she doesn't even process this correctly. You see, it's like, oh, we're gonna date. How does he know that? He doesn't know that there's gonna be this is the thing with women, right? And you know how many dates I've been on? I've been on multiple dates.
Mhm.
After the second, third date, it's fizzled out. It gone nowhere.
Mhm.
So really, for a man to think that, how am I going to know this is going to lead to something? They don't. But
Yeah.
what I do know is that you just use my time and effort. And I said you didn't have to pay, but you insisted on it. So now I put that time and effort into it, thinking that, okay, at least my time and effort will be paid for.
Mhm.
Okay, then in my mind, okay, at least that's also more of an. This is like, I'm not just getting to know her. I'm incentivized because look at this, right? Sometimes women are so selfish because in the process of getting to know each other, this is an equal playing field, right? The unequalness, right? Let's see when it comes to dating, is that now a man has to pay for that date. He has to plan that date. Okay. He has to also push the conversation along that day. So really, dating for men is incredibly uneven. Okay. So here's a woman that says, okay, here's the date. We're trying to get to know each other. Even paying field. Well, he's pushing it along, right? Now he has to put his labor in it. No matter how hard it is, well, he's the one doing it. She's not doing it herself. So really, he's putting that labor into it. Okay. Yes, she bought lunch, but usually people who pay for contractors, they at least buy them food or give them some lunch anyway sometimes. Well, so that's not like necessarily, you can bring that down a little bit, but still he put in that labor in. So her putting in that little extra, it's not that. And let me be honest, I don't even think she paid him that. In my opinion, right? This is only opinion. I don't even think she zelled him like
a lot.
I doubt she zelled him like $100 or anything. Probably 20, 50. That's probably about it.
I don't know. I say they must have an agreed upon amount. So
yeah, but I don't think it's nothing exorbitant.
Yeah.
But that's the thing where this is women. This is the problem with women, right? Just like I've heard these situations where a woman said, okay, you go on a date, she will offer to, let's split the check. If you take her up on that offer, she will ghost you. It's like, you kidding me? you just offered to split it, or it's like, are you kidding me? Or they offered to pay for it. Okay. You just offered it. And like, that's why, like, I'm honestly saying I'm not stupid enough. I don't take women on that offer. I know this. I know women will ghost me after I take it. I'm not stupid. Some men, I'm not saying men are stupid. I'm saying men will, like, you know what? I would take you at face value.
Yeah.
You're going to say it, I'm going to take you up on it. I'm not going to think past it. But this is the thing where I'm cynical about it. I know women are not that nice. They're not.
So I don't know. Well, I'll agree with you on this. I mean, because we were talking about, I guess not that there's a gender war in dating, but like a divide. And I'll agree with
Created by women.
Well, I'll agree. I'll go as far as to say that, to the extent that women's expectations keep rising, let's agree that's true, or that they're already very high, which it's not totally wrong to have high expectations, but when they're but expecting someone to read minds is too high.
That's part of the high expectations.
That's insane. So,
like I said, they need Superman. That's why they say that they want Superman with Clark Kent.
Well, I can't do that, so I'd rather not date. I can watch the.
And you know what? No, see, you know what? That's the thing, right? You are not alone. You know how many men, right? On my TikTok, how many men tell me I give up, I'm done dating, or I go outside the country? Do you know about the passport bro movement?
No.
We future episode, right? We will talk about the passport bros.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, men. So many men have told me that they just gave up. They're done dating.
Yeah.
They're done trying.
Yeah.
And I understand it, but that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because, like I said, women are crazy. Right? Women have created this. Right? Women have destroyed men to the point where I give up. I'm done. You look at you, right? You are. I know the audience won't know it, but you are an amazing man. A man with morals and principles, right? A man that's not like he's not just having sex discriminately. A man that values marriage, a man that values commitment, okay? A man that works, okay? A man that wants to, I mean, whether men can or can't provide, that's not the point, but a man that wants to provide, that is the key, okay? Mm-hmm. And you are definitely one of that. You are the definition of a nice man. Okay, a nice man that people the nice guy that people destroy. You are that type, and yet you have a hard time finding a woman. Right? You have a hard time finding, and this is what I'm saying, right? I'm sorry, but these are why. I know I can say myself, but that'd be conceited, and who's gonna believe me? But I could definitely say my friend here is that. Right? From an outside perspective, I see that. And this is why I say the shit that I'm saying. Right? How can women complain that there's no good man when I know that at least one person, right, you, is having a hard time finding a woman? How can you say that? Right? What do you want? A man that doesn't cheat on you? Boom. You got that. A man that would value you, would love you? Boom. You got that. I mean, like, a man that would see past just the aesthetics, boom, you got that. It's just like a man that works hard too. A man that has goals and aspirations, right? You got that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why I say the things I say, because I know men like that, and yet men like that are looked past on. So I know that there are men like that outside. Okay. But yet they are looked past on because, yes, they're not the charmers. They're not going to make women laugh easily. They're not going to, just like stand there and women turn their heads because it's attractive. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to drop down hundreds of grands in front of you to flash your eyes. Yes, of course. So really, that's why men like that have a hard time. But women, this is what I'm saying, right? Here's that woman, right? Where she could have looked past that. She said this man, they were clicking on all fours. You should not have promised him something and not follow through on it. You shouldn't have. Okay? You shouldn't expect man to perceive it because he said what he said. He said he didn't need it. She assisted it. So he doesn't need to read. This is the thing, right? I did a video on TikTok, right? About saying the dangers of women saying no isn't no. The dangers of women not being clear that no is a no. Because I said it, that women have created that type of man. Women have created the type of men that do not understand no is no. Women have created it. I saw this clip of a woman, and I have it on my TikTok, okay? Mm-hmm. Of a woman, of a man, right? She was waiting on a train stop, right? He jumped the tracks, went all the way over to her side, and tried to talk to her. She said, "No, go away from me." He said, "What, girl?" He's still trying to talk to her. She was like, "No, you got. Let me try to talk to you. Let me like no." She said, "Go away." No, he follows her. And he's like, "No, come on, baby. Not giving up." But I'm sorry. Women, and I said it too. This man is disgusting. Okay? That's disgusting behavior. But this is why I don't necessarily hold men accountable, is that I'm sorry, women have created this. Okay? Women have created this. The same type of man. If you found him attractive, if you found him irresistible, more than likely, if you said no, you would still want him to try to get to you. You would still want him to try to, I don't know, talk you up, riz you up. You would still want that. That's the problem.
That's wild. I don't know. I would. So I would take her at face value. I hear her no, I'm going the other way, right? If we agree that I'm going to be paid for something, I'm going to expect payment for putting together your furniture. If you insisted on that, and if you get upset with me for holding you to what you promised, essentially, then you're not right for me. You know what I mean? So and so in that situation, he definitely he dodged the bullet.
Yeah, but that's why I said that. I'm sorry. This is the type of woman that will stay single and die alone.
Oh man.
It is what it is. But here's a woman that agrees with her.
Okay.
Ladies, what would you do in this case? I just saw a video of, okay, she's in the Atlanta area, and unfortunately she doesn't have her duet. To make sure she was being fair, they did talk about, a cost for doing that, and she agreed to pay him because obviously if, she decides she doesn't want to date this man, she doesn't want it to be weird or anything like that. So they talked about a cost. He comes over on Saturday morning. He starts putting together everything. He's spending the entire day there. So they're talking and vibing and hanging out. And, he's putting together her furniture and they're really like getting to know each other and sort of building a connection in a really interesting way, right? That doesn't involve a restaurant or a crowded area. It's just, an intimate setting and in her home. And lunchtime rolls around and she orders lunch for them and they talk. And then when he's done with his job, he stays for a few more hours and he hangs out with her and again getting to know each other, and he asks her, to see her again. So then before he leaves, right, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to send you my phone number for that Zelle so you can send me the payment. So she gets his information and she sends him the money like she promised, and then she basically ghosted him. When he finally was, wanting some answers to say, hey, like what happened, she just explained to him, about that, they were going to possibly start dating and it felt weird for her to pay. Now, a lot of people are coming down on her saying, she was wrong. She agreed to pay him. She should pay him for the services and things like that. I don't think this is a case of right or wrong. Okay. It's just reality. The moment that woman sent him that Zelle for the payment, she was instantly turned off. Okay. Because this is someone that she was looking to date. And this was sort of like a first opportunity for him to maybe just do something nice for her. They had spent a whole day together and spent a lot of time together and things like that. She bought him lunch, and to then send him and pay him for way beyond the hours. Okay, so, she paid for a service, but this man was at her house all day. Okay, because they stayed for hours. She fed him lunch. They were talking and vibing. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to send you money. It just simply feels weird. Okay, at that point. And so no matter what he says, no matter what people think is right or wrong, basically the masculine feminine.
And here's a woman that's talking about what we talked about in the past, the masculine and feminine thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamic in that connection just totally went down the toilet. Okay, because not that she was expecting him to do anything for free, but I think it was because the connection.
She did expect him to do for free if she wanted it for free. This is the thing women decide. Okay, yeah. This is the thing where men just straight up say, no, you don't have to pay.
Yeah,
women. It's like
free. He said,
she's deciding. Oh, I'll decide which situation it will be. Okay, this is the thing where women it's like, seriously, no, let's just be upfront. I don't need to take it. No, okay, no, I'm going to pay you. Okay, fine, I'll take it. Now it's like, okay, no, you know what? I decide you don't need it anymore. What? You said you're gonna. This is the thing, right? This is the thing with women. Okay, this is why I said men. Okay, being blunt is a better conversation. While women, these weird ass cues, these side languages, these read between the lines, these read my mind shit.
But other women always been that way.
It has. It's always been that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, right? it's made dating terrible. Like I said, right? Why I said there's no gender war is essentially it's always been like that. Okay, the dating scene is like that always. The only thing is that now standards are harder or worse. Okay, but women have always been women like that. So men have always dealt. The issue is that the issue why people are saying there's a gender war is that now you see these men, we are able to talk about it. We are able to voice our opinions and feelings, and women take that as an attack. That's the key difference, right? Is that now men, average men, are able to have a voice. So in turn, women view this as, oh, you're attacking me. No, I have an opinion. I have a criticism. I have a thought. So I'm voicing it.
Okay. I mean, I think women are voicing their opinions too.
They've always voiced their opinions. Women have always voiced their opinions. There's never been a stop to it. There's never been I don't remember there was a beginning. It's always been. Remember, daytime talking shows, Ricky Lake, Oprah, The View, all these crap. There's always been women's voice.
Okay. That was good. He was like, I don't think there's been a beginning to it.
There's not. So you've always been a woman's voice.
Oh, it's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, all right. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Keep playing.
Explain it during the course of the day, it just now feels weird that it's like, oh yeah, I spent 3 of the hours, or however long it took him putting together stuff, and then I spent another 5 hours just chilling and hanging out with you, and then I still have to pay you. And by the way, we're going to go on another date and we're going to hang out. It is weird, and unfortunately, it crossed and blurred way too many lines. To where now it's like, do I treat you as a general contractor or do I treat you as a potential person that I'm dating? And I know if the tables were turned, it would be the same. So, like, for
a general contractor, are you having him build more stuff for you? It's like
that's nuts. Like, if you look, I get why they agreed to payment, and I think that was smart, right? She was like, "Listen, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't want him thinking he's getting something from me, like physically, for doing this work. So he's here for a reason. I'm going to pay him, and that'll be the end of it if I don't like him." I get that.
You know what? Perfectly said, right? But that's why I was thinking that 50-50 splitting a bill, I think women should make that automatic.
Automatic?
I think women should make modern day women, feminists, right? The strong, independent women should make that automatic, right? Why demand traditional values when you're not traditional anymore?
Yeah.
Right? Why talk about the past, right? I thought women said abusive men are the past, right? Men of the past are abusive and all that shit. Okay. You should ask for 50-50. You should pay half of your bill. You should pay your bill. He pays his. So there's an even playing field. So he's not expecting, okay. And it's true. Men, that's what I said. Men have always been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Even back then, men thinking, oh, I'm paying for this, I'm doing that. This is leading to something I want, right? Because I'm making that effort. How about distinguish it where no, we're still, let's take it slow. It's not going to lead anywhere, right? It's going to be taken slow, step by step.
Mm-hmm.
I paid my half. You paid your half. I talked. You talked. I got to know you. You got to know me. It is even. Yeah. There's no imbalance.
Right.
Okay. The thing is that now men is like, oh, I just paid $300 for this dinner. Okay. You barely talked. I had to talk the whole time. So really, at the end of the day, I at least better get a kiss, or I better get some booty. It's like, this is the thing what women are saying, right? And you said it clearly, like, to make it clear, let's not make a man. And this is what I said, right? Mm-hmm. Because women are so, side languaging or like read my mind kind of shit. Men are doing the same shit, right? Men are doing the same thing where, okay, I'm paying subliminally. That means I'm going to get some booty. That's like,
yeah. So it's in the back of our minds anyway, no matter what. So But she should have prepared herself to, and I mean, she wasn't gonna do that. She had changed her mind when he asked for his payment. But like, she should have, when she decided, when they made arrangements to pay, she should have said in her mind, I'm gonna chalk that up no matter what. And if it turns out good, that's a bonus. If it doesn't work out, well, I paid him and he's out of my life. But if it works out, we've already agreed to pay him, so I'm gonna pay him and eat that. But then next time I see him, it'll be a date. They keep calling this a date. It turned into y'all getting to know each other, but he came over to fix your furniture. It wasn't a date. You hired him, right? and you wanted to get to know him, but you intentionally hired him to make sure that you could get rid of him when it was over, right? If you didn't like him, you did like him, then you can change the way you approach things in the future. But you can't like him and then like telepathically make him change the way he's approaching things because you like him. He came over to provide a service that you insisted on paying him for. Pay him, and then the next time it can be a date, and he'll pay for everything. You'll get everything.
And perfect thing, right?
He's
Essentially, your money's going towards another date anyway.
Exactly. He's gonna give it back to you. She's assuming.
And this is why I said before, where essentially she probably didn't even pay him that much.
Yeah.
So really, she was getting back what she paid him.
Yeah.
Like, let's say this, right? Hypothetically, she gave him 20. Okay, if they go on a date, that 20 in her mind should think, okay, that 20 probably went to a tip, right? That probably was the tip for that date. She provided the tip for the date, so she didn't need to do nothing. It's like, this is what I'm saying. Like, women like this, where this woman is trying to agree with her, right? We're saying, okay, she felt off because now, what if they go on a date? Seriously? So do you not think about the man's money when it comes to dates? No, women don't.
No,
because they don't think that, okay. Women don't. I mean, women don't think that, okay, it's not weird that a man is paying for dates, but if a woman puts money in, now it's weird.
She kept saying like the whole dynamic, like that role I guess he would play in a relationship gets thrown off, but they weren't in a relationship, and it was set up to not be a date, so you're not in those roles, and you can't assume that he's playing that role. But he had already made clear that he was willing to do it for free anyway. So he would never have charged you to do that if you guys were in a relationship, which you were still not in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's all messed up, and he dodged a bullet. But like I always say, I think there are plenty of women who would think in a more reasonable way.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's very. I think there's definitely more than one girl out there who would have been like,
I'm not okay. Now that's a different way. That's a different thing to say.
I'd like to see you again. Like,
I'm not saying that there's no girls out there, but
I think there's plenty.
I don't think so. Let's finish this clip.
All right.
You know, if a man came into a woman's life and she performed a service for him, let's say she cut his hair or something, and then they decide to date, right? Would he be expected to pay for that haircut? You know, would it be weird if
he would be
if that's what y'all agreed upon?
No, yeah. If he's like, "Oh, I'm going to pay you,"
she was like, "Yeah, for free, baby, because I'm your girl now." That's awesome, but I might even pay her if we were in a relationship. If it were her business. You know what I mean? Like if she were a hairstylist or a barber, and I went to her for my haircuts, I wouldn't automatically assume it was free. I would probably pay anyway.
And hell, I mean, if you go to a relationship, the money goes back into the relationship. It's
exactly.
Like, this is why I said women are selfish.
That's wild.
Say, well, we're gonna date, so I don't really pay for it. So I totally get what everybody's saying. But I do think in this particular case, it's more of a biological thing where suddenly she doesn't view him in this providership way. She doesn't view him in a masculine way. And she just became turned off. Okay, now granted, she did pay because everyone's like, she should pay, she should have paid, and no,
Hey, yeah.
but she has a right to ghost
But
the
she's
guy.
kind of
I
funny
stand with
though.
her on this just because if she's feeling weird about it, then she should not stay in that relationship because it's going to be a headache for both of them. And if she's turned off in an intimate way, in a physical way, it's not going to be good for him. So
This is why I said women keep other women single. Right? Where I would have said no, pay him. And if you were already clicking with him on a personal level, pay him so you get over that whatever you said to him. Don't make that same mistake again. Okay?
Yeah, don't make that same mistake.
Continue to get to know the man.
Well,
Because like this is why I said, right? This is why I said why we were talking about before. Women having a career, women having a job, women making money, it's meaningless to men. Because why? Women do not spend money on men. What's the saying, right? A man's money is man's money is your money. A man's money is his money and your money.
Was wait, what is it? It's like was ours is was
Okay,
hers was ours is hers.
What's mine is yours, and what's yours is yours. This is, and you know what? That may have made sense in the chivalry, gentleman days, but it don't make sense now, and it's useless now, right? Because, like I said, women making money is meaningless to men. Because why? Women do not spend money on men. Women feel awkward to even give money to men. Look at it. She said it, right? Here's a woman out of the horse's mouth saying, "Oh, she just lost. I don't know, lost feelings for him because she gave him money."
Interested anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, if she was turned off by having to pay him, then she shouldn't try to talk to him anymore. But she's gonna set herself up for that situation if she does that again.
That's the thing where, you know what? That's why I said she has the. This is why women keeping other women single. Where you're not. See, that's why the other woman said that she doesn't. The first woman, right? She said that she doesn't agree. She doesn't believe that, right? She thinks she was right. Here's another woman encouraging that, right? Pushing that delusion. So what are you doing? You're keeping that woman single by not waking her up.
Yeah. But I think, all right. So, but if you were to point out specifically what the problem was it, well, she paid him. She did pay him. So she did hold up her end of the bargain. She didn't want to see him anymore, which is her right. If she doesn't want to see him anymore,
it is her right.
That's fine.
But I'm saying that pattern will continue, right? It will continue in the next relationship. It will continue on, right?
I think she needs to be clear about her expectations.
I said, I agree. Be blunt.
Yourself. Yeah. Be like,
be direct. Be truthful.
Yeah, just be upright, honest. But then, I don't know. Now it gets a little bit tricky. All right, hold on a second. Because we're talking about it. She set it up to pay him as kind of a protection for herself, right? In case it didn't go the way she wanted to go.
Okay, yeah. You see that.
In that case, would it have made any sense for her to say, hey, if things go well, if things don't go well, I'll pay you? That wouldn't have made sense, right?
No. Okay, what makes sense, right? If she was just be honest, be 100% honest in the beginning. Remember why I stopped the clip, right? Just tell you, we were only going to go by what she said.
Yeah.
Be 100% honest with a man. Say, okay, I will pay you if I'm not feeling this date. Okay, I will. If we're feeling it, if we're vibing, and we're going to continue dating, we don't need. I don't want to pay you. Or I will, because he insisted you don't need to pay. If we are feeling it, I'm going to go with what you said. Make it sound a little bit less terrible. Where I'm going to go with what you said, and I don't need to pay you. But if we're not feeling it, right, and we're not going to continue dating or anything, I'll pay you.
So I don't know if she could have said that.
Why?
I think that undermines the whole point. because I don't think she could have done that because it undoes it defeats the purpose, because then he would come in thinking, if I play my cards right, I can get another date.
Why not?
He might be upset if he gets paid. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Well, he would know what is happening. If she paid him, he would know that she wasn't into it. At least that's what he knows. So look at the man. He was curious of why she ghosted him.
Yeah,
he didn't understand it.
Yeah. Well, I think it was that the whole point of paying him was to make the situation, I'm paying you to do me a service. It's not a date. Halfway through it, she started looking at it as a date. That's where she screwed up. So, and I get it. They spent time together. They were talking, but you paid him to do a service. She should have kept that view. She started to view it as a date when she had already, she paid him to do a service, and I get it. It was for protection, but then you just got to pay that bill, I think. And she could have, she might have been able at the end to be like, hey, look, I know I agreed to pay you and I'm willing to, but would you forego that? Instead, can we make a deal? Can I see you again? You know what I mean? Because saying up front that I'll pay you if this doesn't go well, one, defeats the purpose, because now it's a date and now it's an audition. And it's not much of a protection for her if he's coming in thinking he's going to get one thing and then he gets a payment and he gets upset. And what if he's a jerk and he's like, oh, so this means you don't like me? And like, we're going to, and what if he's the kind of guy that might react adversely to that? She's trying to protect herself. So that was the whole point of saying, hey, look, I'm going to arrange to pay you and make this a situation where I'm hiring you for a service. I think she should have just prepared herself in her mind to eat that bill.
I do agree with that.
That's what I think.
I'm trying to mull over if she changed her mind and told him later on, how would I was in his position, how would I feel?
I mean, that's the only other way I think she could have got out of paying him.
But okay, to be honest, like, fine. I would say, you know what? I mean, I don't know how I would feel in that, but I would say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to just be blunt than not. Yeah. So let's say, okay, fine. If she changed her mind, at least tell him then.
Yeah.
So don't think, okay, because this is what I said, right? The problem is that, yes, he dodged the bullet, but still, that was a time wasted. That was effort wasted, right? Yeah. It's effort to get to know someone. It is. It's effort to try to charm someone, So in his mind, he's like, oh, wow, we're clicking. She liked me. All this stuff. He's not thinking about the payment. He's not even thinking about that.
No,
because he thought, okay, that was for this. I'm not even thinking about that. We were talking, we're vibing. I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna go on a date, and now she just ghosted me. Wow, this is the thing where people don't understand the mental exhaustion of that, right? The feelings, right? The emotion, like the emotion, the high, and then boom, the low. Wow, I thought we were vibing. Boom, she doesn't even want to see me anymore. That's not fair to someone, right? That's an emotional roller coaster. Why would a person deserve that shit? So that's why I said, like, you know what? However she did it, she should have just been blunt, right? Because if she was feeling him, she should be blunt and have him now. He decides what he should do, because she's blindsiding him for him to read her mind and do the things. No. Be blunt with him. Now put the ball in his court, right? Because the man came out of this thinking that, oh, he's going to see her again. She came out of this knowing that she's not going to see him again. And she didn't even tell him. That's the thing, right? At the end, she paid him thinking, oh, and he's literally thinking, oh, it's all good. She paid me. She's talking to me. We're going to see each other again. In her mind, it's like, I paid him. I ain't going to see his ass again.
Yeah. Yeah, so a disconnect.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. I would think on the flip side, if a man did this to a woman, women would be in uproar. Like, oh my God, he ghosted you, and he said he was gonna pay you, but he didn't pay you, or he said he was gonna pay you and he paid you, but now he's ghosted you. That the man's a jerk. That man's a misogynist. All this crap. But this is the thing where that's not fair. It's not fair on the person that you just emotionally dumped or emotionally, I don't know, effed with. That's why I said, like, these are the flaws that women are going through. These are the situations that women are putting men through. But right, here's the thing: women like that will or more likely turn into something like this.
I want to be somebody's girlfriend, somebody's wife, somebody's son. This is one of the realest videos I have seen in a long time. And I am so grateful that she was able to be that transparent, because I literally just posted something like this last week where we are hiding our vulnerability behind our strength, behind this fake positivity, when in actuality, a lot of us are tired. We're tired of being alone. We're tired of being single. We're tired of disappointments after trying to date somebody, going in with good intentions, them not going in with good intentions, because everybody got that dang on guard up. Everyone's looking out for themselves. Nobody wants to make the first move. Nobody wants to look stupid. So we all just...
One, women are pretty much making themselves lonely, in the process making other men lonely. Okay, men have really no choice. Women are doing it. Okay. Second, in my opinion, men make all the effort, at least in the dating process, right? Men make the effort. Women do not make effort. Women, what she's saying is not right, in the sense that it's not equal, right? Men and women are not both doing it. Just women are doing it.
Alone. I am so tired of this war between men and women, especially black men and women, when we all just want...
That's why this is why I named the episode "Is There a Gender War?" because of talking point like this.
Okay.
Want the same thing. We all just want love. I get it.
Cap, because black, or not saying black women do not just want love. It's a cap.
I totally get it. I have nights where I cry because I'm like, yo, I know I'm not doing nothing wrong. I know I'm a great catch.
Cap, you're not. You're not a great catch. And what you're doing wrong is the men that you pick. Because if you were a great catch, with the men that you pick, they would want to be with you. But this is the thing, this is reality. Because the men that you want don't find you as a great catch, so in turn, they don't want you. So what you're doing wrong is you're picking men that don't want you, that they don't find value in you. And this is kind of how I do those reactions of the dating things.
Yeah.
You get it. You get a taste of it.
Okay. Boom.
But why is this so difficult?
Because women make it difficult.
Many people are sharing this experience, but most people don't open their mouths to say it because the world will shame you for saying it. I literally just saw a stitch of a guy saying, "Oh, 20 years ago, she probably said that, she didn't want a man, didn't need a man." Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people say that because it's a guard. Because
it don't change that they say it, right? This is the thing. This is sometimes women have wrong way of thinking about things.
Mm-hmm.
The things you say and the things you do have consequences. If you say to a man, I don't need you, I'm strong, independent. Yes, your guard may be up, but that doesn't change the fact that, okay, whoa, you're strong, independent. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to go for a woman that's, you know what, actually needs me. Not strong, independent. She's dependent on me, right? She wants to be with me, right? She needs me, okay? She's not strong. I'm her strength, okay? Because why do I need a strong woman, right? When I'm going to be her strength. This is the thing where women don't understand that. Do you not think that, this is what I said, feminism has destroyed women. Because you're actually, you're this ideology, these rhetorics that you, I don't know, that you shout to the rooftop, it's affecting, right, other men's, this is the thing, right? This is where we're going back to, reading women's mind. Exactly that. Okay, oh my God, your guard is up. Should I have known that?
Yeah.
Should I have read your mind and know that you're hurt, your trauma. So really, you actually wanted someone instead of when you said, "Oh, I don't need no one." Oh, I should have thought that you actually wanted someone. Oh, I should have known that. I should have read your mind.
If we say we want a man and we want love and we get on here and we cry and we express ourselves, then someone bashes us for saying it. But then if
men, see, this is what I'm saying. I've said this before.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to dating, for women, it is on easy mode. Literally, it is a game set on easy mode. So I don't agree with men bashing women, but I do agree with men criticizing women. That you had it easy. Agree. You're that first. It was. This is a stitch of a longer video of that first woman, right?
Yeah.
Of the woman in the beginning, where she's much older. Maybe I don't know how old, but
Yeah.
assuming by her looks, probably in her 50s.
Okay.
Complaining that she wanted someone. I'm sorry. Most women, or let me say this, maybe 99% of women can always have someone. It's because they don't want that person, right? That woman doesn't want the person that wants her. And more than likely, throughout her life, she chose not to have someone. So there's consequences to your actions. It is true that, let's say that woman in the beginning, she's blunt, she's ugly. But it's highly unlikely that she was ugly throughout her life. Or to a point where there's absolutely zero men that she's had contact with. Okay? So, if you had not had an, I don't know if I say ego, or if you had been smarter, right, and prioritized men, then when you were in your 20s, you would have had someone. You would have gotten a man. So he would have grown old with you, okay? If you had picked the right man, right, focus on picking the right man, he would have gone old with you in your 50s, and you didn't have to be on the internet crying that you don't have no man. This is a problem with women, where they don't think, okay, this is the thing where we talked about in the first, the career woman. Oh, let me focus on my career. Let me focus on other things besides men. So now that I'm in my 40s, my 50s, my 60s, where are all the men at? I'm crying here in front of strangers asking, where are men at? Bitch, you crazy? Men were there, you just did not prioritize them. That's the thing that women don't understand. And that's the thing where, again, like I said, I'm not saying men to bash women. I'm saying men to criticize women. Right? I'm not saying calling them names or anything, right? But I'm saying like to criticize them where you are wrong. You don't understand the accountability, the consequences of your actions. You could have had a man. So you didn't have to cry about a man later on in your life. So Just like, let's say a hypothetical question, a hypothetical scenario. If a man in his 20s was lazy, was unmotivated, was undisciplined, in his 20s, he was working at McDonald's, didn't care about nothing, lives in his mom's basement. Now he's in his 40s, 50s, crying, I'm still working at McDonald's. I have no woman. I still live in my mom's basement. Where are all the good women at? Why aren't there women on me? Women will not be sympathizing with him. Women will call him a scrub, a bum, unattractive, a creep. Okay? That's the thing where you don't understand. Women will chastise him. Like, you think you deserve any woman? No. So I would say the same thing. That type of man, that's his consequences of his actions. He chose to not do anything with his life. He chose not to be proactive. He chose to not change his own life when he should have changed it. I'm sorry, there is an expiration date on all human beings. That's just how it is. And for women, this is the thing where men critique and criticize those actions. Here's a woman, she's single, right? This woman talking about it. She didn't pick the right men, and she didn't prioritize men. So you're going down the same path as that older, ugly woman. This is how it is.
There's somebody who finds her attractive, but all right. So I'll just say this. I hear you. I get your reasoning, but and if like you say, you're thinking about the primary things that we value in the opposite sex. What you said for men, it's, I don't know so much about youth, but I get it. Youth, fertility.
I think youth is part of the fertility part.
Okay,
that's why.
All right. So all right. So we can say fertility and looks, right? I mean, if you're going by that, it's practical. It doesn't necessarily account for other emotions, which I think play a way larger part in. I mean, we discussed it. We discussed men do a lot for love, and I would venture to say women do too, or at least they feel love, or they fall in love, or they need companionship. I think that video makes it clear. And at a older age, you can still find a companion. There's somebody at an older age who also needs companionship. There are plenty of people in their 50s, men and women, who might want companionship. Now, there might be older men who want a younger woman who's fertile and beautiful. I get that. But I think there are plenty of people who might want companionship. And that might look different for somebody who, like an older man, might not want a younger woman for companionship because they can't really relate to each other on that level. So he may feel those needs you mentioned, like she may be beautiful, she may be fertile, but he might want somebody. I know how cheesy this sounds, but I'm thinking of old couples like my parents. He might want somebody to read books with, or watch sunrises with, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Go on trips with. She may want the same thing. I don't think all hope is lost for her, but I do understand that if she did the things you described, where she prioritized things other than a relationship in her life when she was younger, she may have missed out on a ton of opportunities. And I don't think you're wrong.
Let me say this, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. I mean, all hope is lost. Because I'm trying not to say it, but it's like, oh my god, I couldn't do it. I couldn't hold it. I'm trying to go on your, go on the, the Addison route, but
Yeah, right.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take it out of my mouth. I just couldn't do it. Because look at this, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Is it impossible? No. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Mhm.
I'm saying it's improbable.
Okay.
Because you gotta think with this, right? And I've done so many critiques and reaction videos of like the single women's, the dating stuff, right?
Mhm.
A woman, right, in her 40s, her 50s, her 60s, and so on.
Mhm.
More than likely, and she's still single, right? If she's still single, looking for a man, more than likely there's a reason why she's still single. A lot of that at least one major reason is her attitude. It's her personality. If she couldn't find a man in her prime, right? Her most attractiveness, her most fertile, her most youthfulness, right? If she couldn't find a man then, now she's in her later years. She has less to offer men, right? But she has less to offer men, but she has more baggage, more attitude, more trauma, more difficulties to offer men. So I would say why I said not impossible, unless women do clear and sensible self-reflection, which is, I mean, that's why in her 50s and whatever, it's crazy late. But if you are going to go 360 on that shit and change everything about you to make yourself change your attitude, change your standards, change your views of the world, right? To make yourself as attractive to as many men as possible, then okay, maybe you can do it. Maybe you can attract a man that, okay, if you want to spend the rest of your years, like you said, reading books, do whatever the romance shit, right? Okay, track a man to get into your life if possible, maybe. But again, as we get older, we build our own attitude, we build our own, sense of self already. It's very ingrained in us. There's a reason why, we we are what we are when we're old age. Like old dogs don't always learn new tricks.
Mhm.
So that's why I said it's improbable. But again, what also makes it improbable is that as you get older, your pool of available candidates shrink. It gets smaller and smaller. So even if she turns a 360, right? Completely different woman. Absolutely completely different woman. Does it mean that she will even get the right type of man for her? No, it doesn't. Maybe she will get a terrible man for her because your pool of selection is so small. You may find only one man that's attracted to you, that wants to be with you, but he may treat you terrible or whatever. So really, you just have a. This is the thing. This is one of the things where I said find. I talked about it before, where women's best opportunity is in college, is in school, because you're surrounded by the most amount of men at the most, and you're in your most prime state, right? And you're in the most equal playing field.
You know, okay. That seems so early to me.
But no, but that's what it is. It may be early, but it's the point where you can find you swift through men, right? And you take the time on men, right? Try to date this one, try to date one, that, and then build. This is the thing where I said, right, where you can build a relationship with people, build a relationship with a man. To be honest, I say this, right? Well, how old were your parents when they got together?
They were in their late 20s. They're
Late
like,
20s?
yeah,
Okay.
28, 29. When I was their first kid, they didn't have me till they were 35.
But how long were they together then? They went together.
They got They've been married for like 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe 27 or something.
Yeah.
But you got to think, right? This is a thing where you make it a point where a lot of things we say that men, I give leeway to women understanding themselves, right? Understanding what they want and all that shit. Well, make that time. Make that time, let's say in college, where, okay, I'm shifting through men, right? I'm learning myself. Okay. But you can also think where you want to, even if you like your parents, they waited till a little bit late in their 20s. But again, you want, as this is the thing where we want as big as a dating pool as possible. Because even me and you know, right? Our pool is very small. Our pool is either the online dating scene we have, or any woman we may, feel like talking, but that's not that easy. So the thing where women and men interact with the most of the opposite gender is in school or in the workplace, right? But I wouldn't say romance workplace is the best, but definitely in school. And that's where I think where, you know what? Yes, it may be young, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing to because let's say this. I would say this is where we put time, right? Let's say you graduate at 22. You already had a boyfriend, right before you graduate. So now you put 2, 3, maybe in 4 years, right? Getting to know each other. Okay. This is a process where you knew this person now for 6 years or so. You should be definite that this person is the right person for you. Then you marry, okay? Maybe 1 year, then you have a kid, and so on and so on, right?
Yeah.
That's more logical. That makes more sense in my view, right? I think that's prime how to do it kind of thing, right? People can make other ways, right? I mean, how do your parents found? Church?
Yeah, through there.
But see, that's another thing, right? That's the point where I'm more saying about your dating pool, right? The best example. Yes, you can find it through church. Like I said, maybe even workplace. But this is the thing where there are there are pools, right? Your surroundings. Yes, work is one, school, church, certain environments, right? That's what prime example. So those are the things, right?
And I said late 20s, but it was more like mid 20s. I think my dad was 26 when he got married. My mom would have been 25 or 26.
Well, then see, that's pretty much perfect example with the college thing, right? It's not that far apart,
No.
So that's why I'm saying, like, women are wasting their time. So that's just.
Hey, I mean, so in 2023, people aren't dating, people aren't getting married, and relationships, not even won't even get into marriage. Relationships are expensive, kids are expensive, and a lot of people are doing things later in life because it takes longer to get to the income level where you can afford to do the things I guess our parents did: have a family, buy a house, own a car. So I mean, there are a lot of outside factors contributing to the way things work nowadays. It's not so easy to do things early, but then it's hard to do things late. So we were just
That's
all
what
way.
I go back to it, that you just can't have it all. It's a sacrifice. It's to pick or choose, right? I'll go back to it where I forgot what Goldman Sachs, right? If you guys look it up, Goldman Sachs did a research. They did a study where in the next 5 years, they are subject to guess, or the study is estimating that there will be more women than ever in the past that will be single and childless. That's just how it is. Japan is experiencing that. Other countries in the world is experiencing that. where women, yes, they're pushing off having kids, having marriage, having relationships until late into their life. That is a risk that if you do that, you are running the risk that you don't even have it as an option. And women like this are experiencing that because they pushed it off until later in life. Yeah, let's finish that.
We say that we're strong, we don't want a relationship right now. Then y'all say we too strong and that's why we single and we gonna die alone. Which one is it? Like, come on, people. But yeah, I totally understand her. And for me, I hate when we get on here and all the advice towards single women, especially, is to tell us what we need to do and how we need to do X, Y, and Z to get a man or relationship when sometimes your time just hasn't come. Your time.
No, that's ridiculous. Because this is again where your time hasn't come. You are leaving it up to whenever it happens. This is the thing where I'm sorry. This is the problem with women. In a lot of cases, at least in the loud cases, black women. You are hoping for God to drop a man in your lap. The time has come. What does that mean? Did you even make the effort for the time to come? No, the time is not ready yet. It's not. That's the delusion of women, right?
That's not just a woman thing. Plenty of people who believe that.
No, I do not know any man that says,
right.
"Oh God, I'm waiting on God to bring me a woman." I don't know any man that says that. And if there is, I will go to his face and say, "You're stupid."
There are plenty of men and people in religion who count on God to bring them a mate, to help them find one.
I've never heard of a man doing that.
Adam didn't find a woman until Eve created her.
But he didn't ask for it.
He did. He basically did.
God basically, what do you mean? Did he ask for it? I don't know religion like that.
It wasn't good for him to continue by himself.
Okay, so God decided. This is what I'm saying. Men don't do that. God decided. Great. So see, that's what I'm saying. Now women are thinking that, okay, because God did it for Adam, oh, God is going to do it for me too. No. Okay? No, girl. That's not how it happens. Right? Don't think that one miracle will be all your miracles. And that's what women are relying on. The Adam miracle.
Just hasn't come. And you just get tired of fighting for it. And sometimes you get moments like that where you're just like, bro, I'm tired, I'm sick. And you got to cry it out and get back up because you're tired of being your own rock. If you're tired of being your own rock, baby, I feel you. I totally get it. This is just me telling you to keep holding on because I truly believe our person is coming. And this stupid, silly little war against men and women is going to end soon. And we are going to be crying tears of joy instead of these tears of sorrow and loneliness. But thank you, Josie, for your
I mean, women are always hopeful. Great for them. I think it will only get worse. That's just how it is. What Japan is experiencing right now is an extreme, right? Where they are having more people dying than people are being born. Mm-hmm. Essentially, women are putting off marriage and children. So, what does that say? Well, men are giving up too. Because I said, right? Because of women's action, men will pretty much have a reaction to it. If women focus on career and not care about a man, men will see that and take a step back and do other things. Because right now, Japan also have a kind of an epidemic where men just give up. Men are, finding, which is kind of sad, like digital relationships, or they are more heavily, what is it? Kind of like I want to say incel, but kind of recluse, where they just like, either just
Heard it.
be trapped in a room, trapped in the apartment, and not do nothing else, or they just work themselves to death, shit like that, right? And that is the reaction. I think women are doing the same thing here. Men are reacting to it.
Now, okay. As far as Japan, and you might know more than me because I haven't looked this up or anything. Historically, have they had issues like as far as like limiting how many children you can have, or some of
No.
the things like they did in China? That wasn't any. None of that was happening in Japan. Okay.
No, it didn't happen in Japan.
Okay. All right. I mean,
admittedly, China's now facing that kind of situation where, because of their population, because of their strict population, now people are not having as many kids.
yeah.
So now they're having that effect because of what they did, right? I think China's having that effect. Japan is having that effect because now their economy is very fast paced and very work oriented, right? So now, like with feminism, right, and with things like that, where now women are pushed into the workplace, and that's their focus. Their focus is only on, and plus Japan is I believe, a high cost of living.
Yeah.
So really, it's like now women don't view they don't view the benefit of just like maybe like one income household. So they push off having a family and stuff so they could develop themselves. So that's Japan's more geared there. That's that more problem. Here's the thing, right? Where we were talking about it.
Okay.
Here's another clip of, let's talk about this one. Okay.
Why is it that the more successful I've become, the less that men seem to want to date me? For those of you who are further along in your careers, I'm really curious to hear what your experience has been with this, so wanted to share mine. I always get told that I am too intimidating. Just because I am a strong, independent woman doesn't mean that I want to be that in every single category of my life, because I'll tell.
This is a thing, right? Women love to pick and choose. If you're strong and independent, but I don't want to be always strong and independent. What? That doesn't make sense. Are you strong or independent, or are you not? It's like, I'm sometimes strong and independent, sometimes not strong and independent. What? This is the thing where women are like, okay, am I supposed to read your mind on when you are and aren't strong and independent? No. This is the thing where when women view that, I don't need a man, but you should know when I do need a man. Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to know that shit?
I'm exhausted and I would really love to have some help sometimes. And I miss having a kind of companionship and partnership. And I want to still be able to have my hobbies. I want my partner to have their hobbies, right? Or future partner, because I'm single. When I go on first dates, I try really hard to not talk too much about my job. I really want to get to know the other person, what they care about, things that they like to do.
Why are career women frequently called intimidating even when they try not to talk at all about work or achievements? This is the thing where I don't know if you understand it, but here's my thing where women don't even understand intimidating. Men are not intimidated by women. Okay? Men are annoyed. Men don't care. Right? Men, it's not intimidating, it's how your personality comes off. Women, this is one thing, right? Women don't understand. I don't know if you experience it, right? But women that focus on career, right? Oh, I gotta make it big, or I gotta push on, I gotta be successful. That comes with an A-type personality, right? That is very masculine, right? To succeed, to achieve, right? So you might. There's a lot of cases women exude that personality when they're dating, when they're around men. So this is the thing: men are not intimidated; men are turned off because now you seem very masculine in nature, right? You don't seem that feminine and that girly like that sometimes men might be attracted to. And that's the thing where women don't understand, right? You might be one of the boys, you're too, you have a personality that may turn off a man. That's what women don't understand. It's not about your work and achievements, but it's about what you turn into the type of person to be able to achieve all those accolades.
And just enjoy their presence and have a good time. I'm not here to be, like it's like some kind of interview or something like that. So I actually try not to answer too many questions about my job. Like I just kind of try to quickly, oh yeah, this is what I do, and then like try to move on. I've actually had an amazing dating experience so far in New York. I've been here for almost a year now. I also think that it's not necessarily a bad thing to have this automatic filter. I've come to embrace it. It's just kind of interesting because I noticed that people make a lot of comments, or they kind of put me on some kind of pedestal, or they just make these observations. It's hard to pinpoint exactly, but I'm curious if anyone else, especially career women, if you've had this experience before. I try really hard to just not talk about what I do for work. I would say from my experience, this is gender specific, and I've only noticed this with men. As a bisexual woman, I haven't had this experience when dating women or non-binary individuals.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, we have to make assumptions about what she's like in person. She doesn't describe herself or the way she presents herself is. She sounds like someone who can hold a conversation and is interested in what's going on with the other person. So, I mean, I don't know. She didn't tell us what she does for work either. I mean, you can have a successful career and be good at what you do and not be a CEO or a partner at a law firm or a doctor. I don't know. What if she's a paralegal? They make a lot of money and they're not top of the totem pole at all. What if she's a manager at an office somewhere and it's not, the top of the ladder? You know what I mean? Like, there's degrees, all that. It doesn't sound
Listen to this, right?
A-type personality you're saying. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you sit down with her for a few minutes and you realize, oh yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, right? You're right. We're only making assumptions, but we're also essentially making assumptions that is also because through her results, her outcomes, right? She's saying that men are not men are intimidated and stuff like that. But that's why I refer to it. That's not right. Men are not intimidated, right? Because your career and stuff is not important to a man, or it's not essential, right? It doesn't intimidate a man because intimidation is like men are not scared because you work. No, but it, like I said, it doesn't. To be honest, it doesn't matter what career you have, but the thought process, right? The personality type for a woman to focus on the pursuit of the career, right? Of, oh, I gotta work, I gotta achieve, I got to push myself to be better, stuff like that. It can come off as, you know what? You are very strict, you're maybe very boss-like, you're very you might have a personality that comes off like attitude-y, very an attitude like, and it's just a lot of things. You could turn off a man. Okay,
I get it.
well, that's something that you could. That's why I'm inferring from her, from what she's saying, and from the results that she's having. Right, because we can see that, because we see that with a lot of these women that I'm showing. Right, is that these type of women don't understand what type of persona, what type of person they're putting in front of a man. Okay, I think that's the key problem. That's the key issue, right? You're putting a persona in front of a man that obviously is not working for you. Obviously, it's been a detriment to your dating experience. So, this is the thing. This is the issue that I'm saying about this situation where it's not a man versus women thing. It's what women have done, and men are criticizing. Men are critiquing it, right? Men have opinions on it. That's the issue, right? That's the point where women are pretty much living the results of their actions. Okay. And men are now saying, well, okay, that's what you did. You done it. You done it to yourself, right? I've said this, right? And I'll say this to my daughter if she ever reaches that. If you want to focus on your career, all the more power to you. But to expect or think you will qualify for a good man because you focus on your career is delusional. If you are lucky, right, you can do both. And that's lucky. If you are realistic, you should choose which one is more important and focus on it. I'm not saying to not work and be a bum, even for a woman. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, okay, if a career is not that much important to you, but a man is, okay, take a step back, take a burner, right? Don't focus purely on career. If you're making money to survive, that's good enough. Don't like, oh my God, I need to be the manager. I need to be the next CEO. I need to make 6 figures. No, that's not important. I need to find a quality man. I work Monday to Friday, this to this. When I'm off, I'm going on dates to focus on a man because the job is not that important. Right? The job is the means to the end. What's more important is finding a husband, creating a family. That's my focus. And that shows you, see, that's a determination that if a man sees, wow, okay, that's what you focus about, that's what you care about. I see that as, okay, that's what you value. On the flip side is that, okay, my focus is a career. I'm too busy. I need to stay back at work because I gotta, do this paper, whatever that. I don't have time for you. Or I'm working this and that. Oh, I gotta make 6 figures. Oh, you don't have 6 figures? Well, I'm working towards 6 figures, so I'm not gonna date you because you're not at my level. Those are things that women do and go through and say. And those are the issues that, well, now they're reaping what they're sow, right? That's what I'm talking about, where at the end of the day, whatever happens in a woman's life, women are the problem from it. They are the cause of it. What's happened in a man's life, well, it's the same thing. Women are the cause of it.
I don't know. It just made me laugh. Like, either way, it's women. It just comes down to.
I mean, like I don't know. Could you think of it like? To be honest, I always think, right? I honestly, I always want to see if I could change your mind on that.
Okay.
Could you honestly say, give me a scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I had a clip, right? Women say, hold men accountable. Okay. How? What do you think I should hold men accountable? What do you think that men could be the root of a problem?
I mean, we're all responsible for our own actions.
Yeah, I'd say that, but
so I mean, as it relates to relationships, to dating, to interactions with the opposite sex, yes, there are those of us. There are men who are creeps, men who don't get that they don't take no for an answer, men who overreact when they're rejected, and you can make the argument that women have helped create that environment, but I'd have to look it up. But I think the amount of men who have committed, I won't say just like sexual assault or domestic violence against a woman, kind of makes it clear that whether we believe it or not, we all probably know somebody who has been involved in that.
I don't know anyone.
No. Okay. Well,
You know someone?
That's what most guys will say. I don't know anybody who acts that way or who does anything like that.
But see, that's the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the thing where we don't understand, right? Let's say this, right? Women say that men are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is that statistically, it's a small percent of men that actually commit crimes. Like, let's say within a year, right? And I'm not looking this up, but I know it's around a rough thing, right? Where in the whole country, maybe 300,000 crimes from men, right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe, I don't know if it's a low ball or I think it's probably an average, right? But we forget that that's a drop in a bucket because there are millions of men, right? So when you say even like, let's say 500,000, okay, 500,000 crimes committed by men.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when there's millions and millions of people or millions of men, what is it like? I don't know the population of the U.S. I think it's 1 billion, right?
In the United States, I don't think we're up to 1 billion.
Well, let's say this, right? I would say these are just crazy numbers. Maybe 20 billion men or 20 million men. Well, 500,000 is still a drop in a bucket compared to that number. Okay, so that's still a small percent of men. So really, the minority does not represent the majority.
Okay.
So even let's say even if men are abusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, statistically, it's still a small percent of men that are abusive.
Mm-hmm.
We forget when we say the capability of abuse and violence does not mean the action of abuse and violence.
So I guess what I was getting at was, this is just something I've heard, and I'm going to say the same thing. I don't know anybody who has harmed a woman, or who has mistreated their spouse in that way. But
I mean, best I know is like someone cheated, but okay,
it happens, I guess. But like, I guess they would say, like, do we, if you notice, if you have a male friend and they say something out loud like that you know is wrong about the opposite sex, and I mean in like a harmful way, would you check them?
I mean, I would if I do know it, but I've
Okay.
never.
I'm just asking, because and do you think most men would check them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, let's say this, right? Because to be honest, right, you're giving me such a vague example. Because what is that like? Oh, I wish all women would die. I was like, what? That's ridiculous.
No, but say you were close friends with Tupac, and you heard of Tupac, and you heard him say bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Would you be like, whoa, bro, that's probably not the right way to think about a woman? Or if he said, yeah, she says no, but she probably really wants it, would you check him right there?
Oh no, yeah, I would say no. I would say a no is a no.
Okay. I just wonder. I don't know if that's as common a practice as it should be. Not that we're responsible for what other men do, but
okay, let's say this, right? Let's say this, right? So, okay, let's say there was 3 friends, right? Me, you, and whatever. And then what you say, or okay, you said she said no, but I still want to go for it. I said, okay, no, you should just say accept a no is a no. Our other friends said, no, just whatever, do whatever you want without saying anything. To be honest, I wouldn't push it. Or I don't know if I would push it or not. I would say this, right? Where the issue is that I would, this is the thing where I said, right? I would have egg in my face that I said to accept no. He said, don't, you should go for it. You went for it. And then she became your girlfriend. Right? Because let's say this is the, it's not a crazy story that, okay, she said no is no. She said no, but she's like, oh, you know what? You wore her down. And now she's happy being with you. Okay. So I was like, okay, wow. I just said no's. I said no's no. He got a girlfriend. I'm single. The other guy is now has a girlfriend as well. So really, in my mind, is like, okay, what is no? Is it? That's the thing, right? So this is what problem, right? Let's say the thing where we talk about like before, where you said like, you know, creepy men or whatever, right? If that, this is the thing, right? Well, I said this in my one of the TikTok where I said about the no's no thing. The issue is that women do not apply the same rule across the board. They don't. So let's say a woman is dating, or women, me and you are both going after a woman. In her eyes, she thinks you're creepy, but you went after her. Even if she said no, right? You went after her. She thinks you're creepy, ugly, and she doesn't want to be with you. Okay. I went after her. She said no, but you know what? I keep going for it. And she's like, you know what? I'll go. I'll change my mind. I'm happy you went. She said she's happy that I went for it because she found me attractive. So this is the thing where that's the issue, right? Where she doesn't apply that rule consistently. We go back to it. Men cannot read minds, but it's the problem is that women created this dynamic, this dilemma, this problem in a sense, right? Women have created it. Well, I go back to it. Yes, men can be a creep, right? But have women created it? Yes, they have. Okay? Women have created it where, you know, where they make this issue that they say, okay, this is the problem where like we have maybe like the certain type of guys, right? Where she would say, oh, this guy's disgusting, right? On the flip side, it's like, where are all the nice guys? When the guy that she said that was disgusting, because he's not attractive, he's short, all stuff, but he's a nice guy. All in out, he's a nice guy. Let's just say he's a nice guy, right? But because he's not her cup of tea, now she's on the flip side. Where's all the nice guy? So men that she just rejected, a man that she just rejected, see that? Okay, that's you are messing with my mind. Okay, so do you want a nice guy, or do you want a man that's, or now that you want the top level man to turn into the nice guy? See, this is why I said, right? Like I go back to what I said. Women want the Superman with the Clark Kent perfection. They want it all, right? You cannot have it all. This is not Build a Man. Okay, this is not. You can't just grab a whole bunch of like traits and pop it into the most physically attractive man you can. That's not how life works. Okay, you cannot have it all. It's just not how it works like that. But this is the thing where women perceive or deluded and thinking that they can. And then they create the situations that they have. I've been there, right? You know, I've been there where you know, I've had a friend, right, that I was talking to, trying to get with. How many times have I said that? Oh shoot, I wish I had a boyfriend like you. Bitch, I'm right here. It's like, what? Do you not even see me? No, 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 no. We're just friends. Okay, then why do you wish someone just like me? That's the thing where women don't understand that you're messing with men's minds, and then you're creating the type of men that will resent or become misogynistic, or just become toxic, right? So now you just created those men that, let's say, the players and the bad boys. Because I saw there's a video like out there where these players and bad boys were once good men until women have turned them into that type of man, right? That's the thing. A lot of men also understand that, yeah, these men were probably good men until they can't be good men anymore, until they were changed into, well, what they are now, the bad boys and playboys, right? That's why I said where everything I can see that it's a root, it's women have caused it.
I mean, I don't think there's any swaying you off of that.
No, sway me. I do want you to, right? Find me a situation that, you know what, that it wasn't because of women's actions that have created and caused something. I'm all for it.
I mean, aside from, and I only brought up what I brought up earlier because you mentioned women saying men should be held accountable or hold each other accountable for whatever. I was just wondering if you thought, do we hold each other accountable? Do we hold our friends accountable for their behavior sometimes, if it's necessary? Do you feel like?
See, that's the thing, right? Like, what I give you, that's why I give you that example where, yes, I think men do until men give up about it, right? Like I said in this scenario where if I am holding you accountable, if I said that yes, no is no, our other friend is saying no, just go for it. You went for it, and then it worked. So now I'm thinking about, like, should I tell the other friend no is no, or should I go along with saying that no, just go for it? Because this is the thing, right? It's not consistent. That's why I said I'm sorry. I mean, like, again, I'm not going. Everything I say is not necessarily malice intent, but it is a personal view of the world, right? Where I think that it's kind of a fact, right? Where women do not be consistent with their rules, right? This is how I believe, right? I do believe men hold other men accountable. The sad fact is that women destroy that accountability. How can I tell you no is no when you went for it? You didn't listen to me, right? Because you're your own man. No one's controlling you. You didn't listen to me, and you still went for it, and you succeed. So now another friend just got rejected, but he's thinking about, oh, should I just go for it? He's asking me. So what do I do? What do I? This is the thing, right? I know, and I've been there, right? It's not no, it's just no. It's not, because every man knows this, right? I mean, I personally believe that no is no for your own sake, not for the woman's sake. That's why I'm saying where have self-respect. This is what I said in my video too. You don't listen to no is no for the woman. You do it for yourself. You do it for your self-respect and your own peace of mind, because that shit is dangerous. Not dangerous for the woman, because it is dangerous for a woman, but dangerous for you. Because if you mess with the wrong woman, that shit will get you whatever. Okay? That's why I said it's more for the man where I say that. No is no. Not for the woman. Because women are delusional. They are hypocrites and they're crazy. Right? But that's why I go battle like that. But how can men hold other men accountable when women are effing that up? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Well, that's what I was asking. I was curious what your point of view would be. I mean, I think I would just always say I'd have to be consistent with my own rule. The no is no, you know, in any situation, no matter what. Um, yeah, I get what you're talking about. I think I would still stick with my no is no. I don't think I've ever been pushy though about any girl. I wouldn't be, because if she's not enthusiastically, if I don't have an enthusiastic yes, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. That's why I said the part where it's self-respect.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about,
I
right?
agree with you on that.
That's why I said, right? To be honest, I have that viewpoint for the men, not for the women, right? I say no is no for the man, right?
Okay.
You do it because it's self-respect and it's your peace of mind and it's you not being in danger.
Yeah.
But I do get you, right? Be consistent. I'm consistent with my thing too, right?
Yeah.
If I view it as makes sense, I'm gonna be consistent about it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I could change my mind if you make it make sense, right? But I would be consistent about it. Where, yeah, I've always thought no is no, but I've always thought it for the women. Now I've been changing my mind, but no, hell with the women. They don't even know what no is no mean, right? But I also understand. I don't know if you see that point too, where the scenario I'm giving, I can
Yeah.
understand men changing that fact, changing that thought pattern. Where how can you keep and say no is no when this bull with you know got with a girl that did the same, right? That said no is no, but got with her. Another man did it. That man did it. Constantly, these men are doing it. So it's like I'm thinking about, yeah, no is no for me, but should I tell another man no is no when all these other men counter that, I think, because of women. That's what I'm saying. See, that's the thing where I would say, yeah. I mean, if you're asking me, I would say no is no, but you do you. That's the thing where I think that's how men are holding men accountable, where they'll say their piece, but I don't think, again, men probably won't force other men to follow the things, right? That's the
No.
difference.
No. I guess it's yeah. I don't want to stay too long on this subject, but then when you see like guys act out in public, or you see videos of guys throwing a temper tantrum because a woman rejected them, or getting in an argument or a fight with a woman, and it's that's pretty ugly, right? And I just don't imagine that they're around people who I two things. It can't just happen in a vacuum. So I don't imagine they were walking around being a nice guy, and it's like, and all of a sudden they did that, and it's like, oh, I can't believe they would ever do something like that. They probably act something like that around people, and they're probably not around people who check them when they act out.
But look, see, this is the thing where I think those things ruin what people think is a nice guy. Right? That's not true, right? You don't just say you're a nice guy and that's the picture you paint. No, your life proves it or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right? I mean, and the people around you, right, will validate that or not, right? That's how men are held accountable. If you're truly a nice guy, well, the people around you will view that as well, right? And you know, the actions you've done will view that as well. I do. That's why I said, like, I hope I could, promote men to have more self-respect, because men throwing temper tantrums or being emotional because a women reject them, or being toxic and just constantly going for it even if she rejects him. Those are the things where you have no self-respect. And why would you put yourself in danger? There's a thing where I'm warning men, where you're putting yourself in danger by now painting yourself as a predator. And that's what I don't agree. I personally don't believe the majority of men are predators or bad men. But if you put yourself out like that, then you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't paint yourself as like that. That's why I said no is no, because I think I hold men to higher standards, because I don't want men to prove me wrong, right? Prove me wrong where okay, you're painting yourself as a bad one, right? You shouldn't. But that's the thing.
It's interesting. I don't know if I can think of any other situations right now. You have me on the spot, so.
But I mean, I think that's. I mean, to be honest, I mean, this is like one of our. I think we can end it on this, right? Because I think it's fun. Yeah, I think it was enjoyable conversations. Definitely always more to talk about. You know, if you guys liked it, I mean, I hope you guys catch more episodes, and because we constantly talk about these episodes, there's always so much to talk about, right? And I always have more to react to, so it will always be fun to listen. I always love these conversations because these are conversations where you can get into deeper conversations where things can be fleshed out or challenged, right? That's why I always love these, right? Um, any how about do you have any last thoughts on the whole episode?
um,
I always wonder, I always wonder, think about this. Do you ever think that, and I always wonder, right, after each episode, do you think any viewpoints have changed, or have you now adopted any kind of wisdom or any kind of viewpoints?
that's actually a good question. So, like, we actually should probably do a show about that, honestly. But like, we do always like go back and forth, and I try to be the devil's advocate and vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would.
And you know what? I think that honestly should be a kind of a goal, right? Maybe at the end of the episode, have we being each other's devil's advocate? Have we influenced each other, right?
Yeah.
Have I changed any mind yours or added to anything yours? Have you done the same thing for me? I think that's always fun.
Yeah, that's something to talk about. Because I would say, like, my immediate answer would be no. But when I think about it, like, I find myself, since we've been doing the podcast, I find myself sometimes thinking something. I'll be like, where did that come from? Like, that is definitely a Dan.
Really?
And it's happened more than once. I'd be like, no, I know exactly what you're doing, girl. That's the thing. Wait a minute. I'd sound like Dan.
Yo, man, I was gonna say, like, if you go on your friend's podcast and they talk about men and women dynamic, you have a good, like, I rubbed off on you. Maybe you could like do it.
You know what? We'll see what happens next time. In fact, I'm gonna bring some of our topics up amongst my some of my buddies and just see what happens.
Yeah,
guys and girls. I want to see how fiery it gets. So
I think it's fun. But there's nothing in particular that you feel like, you know what? I see this point, and maybe you know what? I've changed my mind on it, and I see your logic, and I'm gonna add that logic to myself.
Give me some time to think on it.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think we should do this kind of like segment more often. After an episode, we should see if we've done a good job, and because I want us to be more like thoughtful, right, in our way of talking, right?
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun to dissect it. You know what? Because I want to make sense. I want each of our thought process to make sense. So why not, right? I wanted to see if it comes off across as, you know what, that makes sense. I think I'm gonna go with that. So yeah, but it was fun. I always love these conversations. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Yeah, please like, subscribe, please join wherever you see this video at. And I'm streaming this right now on Twitch, but of course I'm going to add this onto YouTube. If you guys watched until this, thank you. Much appreciated. I hope you guys will catch our future episodes. Later, guys.